Hi guys, so today I want to talk about something that has impacted my whole life and it will continue to impact my whole life. It's a condition that I suffer from and it's called patella luxation. Patella is the Latin or medical term for kneecap, and it's basically when your kneecap just removes itself from its regular position on top of your upper and lower knee bones, like this whole big joint where everything's coming together. And that can happen for multiple reasons. It can be due to genetic reasons, which is what's the case for me, or it can also happen during just regular sports activities. If you have some kind of accident, a friend of mine actually suffered from this accident type of luxation, and that's also really horrible. It's something that I've never really seen talked about. It never appeared in any kind of TV show, book, or whatever type of media. But I think quite a few people actually suffer from this in some form. I mean, almost half of my family does. So I know of at least like 10 people who suffered from this. And of course, it's because it's genetic for me, but I would suppose that it is something that quite a few people suffer from. So it's something that should be talked about because I not only suffered from the condition, but also because other people didn't know about it. Um, Either way, well, how do I even start this? It like came to light that I was suffering from this when I was like 3 or 4 years old. There was a cartoon on TV called Heidi, and there was a girl, Clara, who was sitting in a wheelchair and she wasn't able to move. And I had been watching that cartoon for a year or something, and at some point I wasn't able to stand up, get up, and move either. And my parents thought I was just imitating Clara because I liked her so much. And they went to the doctor and they said that everything should be fine, so maybe it is just like a phase that I'm trying to imitate this character and I'm going to be walking soon again. But I don't remember a lot of that time, obviously, because I was so young, but I do remember the pain that I felt. I was physically unable to stand at that time and to walk. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why that happened. I don't know how it went away because at some point I was walking normally again. But yeah, this is the earliest memory that I have of knowing that something was wrong. And yeah, I was suffering from that for years and years, and my mom, my aunt, my grandma, my great grandma, and so on and so forth, they all suffered from this. And so they knew that, okay, we have like some kind of genetic thing where just our kneecap just slides out for whatever reason. I think I was about 12 or 13 when I had a very bad accident with that. I was moving around in our house and my kneecap just crashed out of my knee. I fell down and my knee was swollen like 3 times the size. So we went to the doctor and they were like, well, yeah, we should probably do a scan. And that's actually when we, like my whole family, because no one ever bothered to actually try and find out what it was, suffered from patella luxation, and that there's basically nothing we can do. What probably happened was that when you're really young, there's some kind of gas that forms in between the inner side of your kneecap and the regular knee bones, like from the upper leg and the lower leg. There's some kind of gas, and because of that gas, when you are like in the beginning of the walking process or something, like 1 or 2 years old or something, um, this gas actually forms a pattern on your kneecap. So this pattern is unique to each person, and it's just like the pattern for your knees so that everything like fits perfectly together. That didn't happen for me. Where this gas went, I don't know. Um, but yeah, my kneecap is completely smooth. So it's very easy for it to just slide out. And in addition to that, my whole family suffers from very flexible ligaments, which would be good if I wanted to be an athlete, but in combination with the whole patella luxation thing, that's never gonna happen. Um, I would say I'm kind of flexible like everywhere apart from my knees. That's like a huge issue. But yeah, what that actually means is that I can't perform certain exercises like normal people do. People who don't suffer from that. For example, a push up is pretty tough on my knees. I mean, you need to do like a straight line with your whole body, and that is really hard for me because my knees are just too weak. Um, my left knee is also weaker than my right one, so the right one would be okay, but the left one is always just like hanging through a little. Something like squats is okay, but only to a certain degree. At some point, it like the pressure on my knee becomes too hard. Just like with skiing, we went skiing on a school trip, and I couldn't participate after the second day because like the whole force of everything, like you have to use your knees a lot. It was too much for mine, and they swole up because it was just the pressure was too much. So I wasn't able to participate for the remaining 3 days. Yeah, and sometimes just a wrong step, a wrong movement can also cause my kneecap to just slide out. And I lose my footing, I fall down, my knee swells up, and yeah, it takes about like 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how bad the trauma was to my knee, for the swelling to go away and for me to be able to move normally again. Um, of course, you can guess that gym class was quite troublesome for me. When I knew what was wrong and I told them like I have this doctor's note and I actually have to wear certain like bandages which were like tailored to my knee. Um, I thought things would get better, that I wouldn't be graded worse than other people for something that I could not control. But things did not get better. um, my teachers in my school apparently all loved football, or to be honest, they were just not innovative enough. They did not know what to do with us. They did not know how to make sports or gym class fun for us. It was just like, we're going to be doing something different this week, but next week is football. The week after it's something else, and then it's football, 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 like all the time. Football was like the thing, and I'm just like, well, I can't actually physically play football, so it's like not fair for me to have to participate when I can't play it. Not fair for my team to suffer from a teammate who is not able to actually help the team. And it's not fair for me to be graded worse because I can't do anything. Like the thing I was doing in football was run after the ball, but never actually like do anything with it because I was physically unable to properly kick it, because when someone else kicks the ball there's a certain force behind it, and in order for you to like take the ball and shoot it and whatever, you have to actually like get it first. You have to hold it with your foot, and the force of some people when they shot like really really hard was too much, and I could never actually like take the ball. It's a little difficult for me to explain also like in general and also in English, but yeah, it was something that was nearly impossible for me to do. Um, but my teachers didn't care. They just saw that I was just running around and not doing anything, so I wasn't participating properly. So I'm getting graded worse than other people do, which is absolutely horrible and unfair in my opinion. I mean, I suffered from this for like my whole school period. It was, yeah, I was always a C candidate. Whatever I did, it was never good enough. And at some point, I actually stopped trying because I thought, like, even if I try, I can't do those things that they want me to do. And they don't care. They don't care to give me, like, something else to do, or care to um, just, like, think of something that would be better for me and also for other people. There were other people with some problems, issues, not just knee wise, but like in general. And our teachers did not give a damn. And Yeah, I think when you're a teacher and you commit yourself to educating students, especially if you're a gym teacher, you should want to get the students to like sports, to like gym class, to do physical exercise, something for their body, and not just play football all the time and not address your students' needs. If you commit yourself to being a teacher, then you need to address a certain student's needs. I did not want them to stop playing football for all eternity because of me. I did not want them to change the whole curriculum because of me. No, but I wanted them to either just let me sit on the sidelines if I can't participate in something, give me something else to do, or at least not grade me worse than other people for something that I have no control over. Um, I think it's absolutely unfair and it's demotivating because I honestly can say I despise sports. Totally. I hate exercising. Because I was just judged and people said I was lazy, I didn't want to participate, I didn't want to try, and all of that. And when you're actually trying, but you physically can't do it, and there's no one there to help you to actually like say, oh, okay, I've read into Patella Luxation. When you can participate in football, you can do these exercises that are actually good for your knee, and then you can do something for yourself that actually helps you. Like that's something that a gym teacher who like studied sports and gym class and like the whole body and knees and bones and joints, at least they should have. This is something that they could have done. Like they could have actually helped me improve my health, my knees, my joints, my everything if they had cared enough to do so, but they didn't. Um, yeah, and it was just demotivating for me. And another thing that actually like made me hate gym class a lot and also gym teachers in general was what happened to my friend. The girls' sports class, their teacher thought it was amazing to just go running in the forest after it had rained. Of course, it was all muddy and slippery and wet, and my friend actually slipped on leaves or something, and she fell down in such a weird way that her kneecap slid out of, like the regular placement, and she was in so much pain, and I can only imagine. I mean, I know the pain, but at least for me, because my kneecap is smooth, it just goes right back in. For her, because it was not smooth, it was like a normal kneecap, it stayed out of the regular position. And then her gym teacher came, and instead of doing absolutely nothing and just calling an ambulance, she pushed the kneecap back in and she caused so much trauma to the knee. Just talking about it, I can feel the pain. It was horrible. And then she called an ambulance. Because she noticed, oh, the girl can't walk or run or like stand up in general. Maybe I should call an ambulance. And when they arrived, they asked what happened, and she was like, oh, I just pushed it back in. And they were like, the girl. No. Um, yeah, and actually, my friend, she was a ballet dancer. The trauma all of that caused to her knee was so horrible that she wasn't able to dance for at least a year. I don't know if she ever went back to dancing. I don't know if her knee actually ever healed up properly. But if that gym teacher had actually, when I told her years and years before what I suffered from, actually had looked into the condition, had learned about what patella luxation is, what it meant, and what you should and shouldn't do, she would not have caused even more trauma to my friend's knee than what had already happened. And I'm just like thinking, if she had cared about me enough, my friend wouldn't have to suffer. And just thinking about that, it's just horrible. I hate this story, and yeah, I just wanted to do this video, not to get like sympathy or whatever, but to raise awareness for this issue because I think there's probably a lot of people who suffer from this, and there's likely a lot of gym teachers who don't care enough and who think just, oh my god, you're lazy and you just don't want to do exercises. But no, like there's actually a lot of exercise that I physically cannot do properly, and it's not because I don't want to try or I'm lazy or whatever, but it's just because it's not possible. Um, I know that with training and exercise it can be possible, like you can strengthen your ligaments and everything else. But when you've been so demotivated that you don't even want to try, yeah, it's a vicious cycle. And I know that I just have to motivate myself. I just have to like actually properly get into all of this, but yeah, that's an issue that I have to deal with myself. But maybe I wouldn't have if my teachers had actually cared. And that's the thing. A lot of teachers don't care enough about their students, at least from my experience. So yeah, if you also suffer from this condition, just please, any kind of advice or like your story, leave it here. Just exchange stories, experiences, whatever you want to share, and maybe try and also raise a little awareness for what we suffer from, um, because it's not great. But I'm alive. I can walk. I can run. Like those things are working fine, but just a little differently from other people.